Sometimes generosity is described as the cardinal Buddhist virtue, so clearly it's put on at quite a high premium in Buddhist thinking. So in the practice of generosity, there are many forms that could take. We could be generous with our time, we could be generous with our energy. A lot of our volunteers help the work that we do here.
The whole path of Buddhism is a moving away from a self-centered attitude to life to an other-focused attitude to life. So you could even say that generosity is the whole basis of the path.
The more we give, or the more we cultivate an attitude of wanting to give, the more we're leaving our tight, self-obsessed ways of doing things behind.
If we conceive of ourselves to be the most important thing in the world, that leads to our suffering.
Imagine sometime in the last week, a time when you were mean in some way. And also think about a time in the last week where you were generous in some way, either with your time or your energy or money. And what does it actually feel like? What is your experience of yourself of being mean, and what's your experience of yourself as being generous? When I'm mean, I feel separated off from others and tight in my body. When I'm generous, I feel more open, I feel relaxed, and I feel connected to other people and to life. And I think that sort of says it all in a way. I think giving connects us to life, to other people. And obviously Buddhism's a lot about living our lives on the basis of actually we're all deeply connected. That's the truth. We're not separate.
Just imagine if your worries weren't so much to do with oneself, one's comforts, one's financial situation, one's career. But the central part of your life was being concerned about other people's happiness. What a shift that would be. Just trying to imagine what kind of life one would live. That's quite a big ask, of course, to do that. It takes quite a long time to practice to get to that point. The first thing you can do is just be a bit more generous than you currently are. And if you do that, little bit, it kind of has its effect. The hard and fast distinction that we often feel between ourselves and others begins to break down. You begin to feel yourself as part of something, part of the universe, rather than being a kind of separate bit of it looking after oneself. It's a win-win situation really, because other people benefit from your generosity, but probably the person who benefits most is oneself.